Father Kevin has brought us up to the beautiful experience of the Cardinal that Ignatius has in Manresa, where there is a spiritual experience that he has a very hard time even describing what it was like, other than it dealt with such beautiful kind of teachings of the faith and the Trinity. And years later, recalling it, he would try to express it in whatever way he could. But one of the things that he said about that experience, and I think that could be so helpful for us, is that it was an experience that years later, as he's writing the Constitution, he somehow would kind of tap into that experience in order to help him to determine what he should put down when he was writing the rule for how the Jesuits should live and their administration and all of those things, that somehow that experience was so foundational for him, so important, that it colored many of the decisions that he had for the rest of his life. And he gave his life a real direction. Perhaps not a direction that was clearly and totally, detailed. Absolutely not, because he had the reverses that happened, that he had to reevaluate things. But it kept him in this course of wanting to serve and be before God. And why I find that helpful is that I think many of us have similar foundational experiences in our relationship with God. Moments perhaps of conversion or moments of clarity. When I think about when it was that it became clear to me that I should be a Jesuit on the streets of Cuernavaca, Mexico, that was a foundational experience that really has helped me throughout my life, to try to be a Jesuit and be, and be faithful and persevering in what it is that I'm doing. The foundational experiences of other people when they discover they're in love with another person, or when they're faced with the most remarkable thing of their first child in their hands, or, foundational experiences when they're saved from something, or after a long illness leave the hospital in something new and different, and they want their lives to be different. And I think those experiences of God are really very helpful if we don't forget them. If every so often, not in a morbid and not in a nostalgic, way, not in an obsessive way, we go back to those experiences, re-encounter, not as powerfully, but still forcefully, the God who spoke to us at that moment, who brought some remarkable grace, blessing into our lives. And if we sit for a moment with those beautiful experiences, they will help to orient us in days that aren't as remarkable, in the ordinary of our lives. They will provide that beautiful wisdom and insight so that the ordinary is lived as closely to God as possible, that the love we felt once is rekindled periodically through our memories and our re-encountering the God who spoke to us in those remarkable moments. As St. Ignatius, in the sweltering heat of Rome, remembered that cool day along the Cardinal when God changed his life. And that's the wisdom of St. Ignatius for today.